morning, mama. It is time to wake up and be wealthy. It is time for you to become rich AF.
Sweet.
It is time for more ease, flow, and fun for you. It is time to build a life and business you are madly in love with. It is time to unlock the wealth codes needed to build your business with your dedicated host, me, Nellie Corvo.
One more time.
Nellie Corvo. I am the CEO and founder of the Wealthy Mama Movement, and I want to officially welcome you to the Wake Up and Be Wealthy show. I am the master at sales and social media with over 17 years of experience building brands in multiple industries, resulting in millions of dollars.
Nice.
I've mentored countless women from starting their businesses all the way up to multi-millionaires. I am here to be your go-to mama to help you build an iconic brand that you are proud of that creates massive cash and impact in the world. Without further ado, let's unlock today's episode. Enjoy! Good morning! It's time to wake up and be wealthy. I'm excited to be back and feeling really, really good. I can't believe it's almost March. Holy bananas. March already. I knew February was going to go fast. And I have a feeling March is equally going to go very fast because there is so much going on. We have our big launch kicking off on Thursday, so we've been preparing behind the scenes for that. QueenCon is next week. The week after, I have a Tony Robbins event that is virtual, but lots and lots of hours. And then the week after that is Nashville for our inner circle. And then 2 weeks after that is Emma's spring break. Hold on, buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride. So the show is going to be here most of March. The days that, obviously I'm, in the makeup chair, I'll probably go live later, and then that will be on the podcast. But I'm excited to be back today. You're going to get a little bit of woo Nellie. I got these gorgeous tarot cards, and I thought it would be so fun to start with a reading for you. I do believe there are no accidents, so what is meant for you will be here. And maybe you've tuned in to the show before, or maybe you haven't, but for some reason you felt inclined to hop on and listen to today's episode. And I think there's a reason for that. And the more open and excited that you are, then you can receive a beautiful message. So I got these beautiful tarot cards. We did some tarot readings at the beach, and it was just seriously spot on. So I picked these out. And they're insanely gorgeous. They're all gold, so they just feel very wealthy and amazing. So I figured we would mix these up here and do a reading. Because why not? Because we can, right? So let me know where you are tuning in from. If you are on live, I would love to know. And if you're on live, hashtag live. And if you're on the replay, hashtag replay. Okay, so let me just feel into this. This card right here is calling my name. Okay, so this is the Hermit. Da, 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 da. So let's go ahead and read into this one so we can see what the message is for today. But I am so excited. I already pulled one for me this morning, and it was seriously spot on. It was so good. Okay, so let me find the Hermit. I'm still learning how this book sorts them out. Okay. Those are all together. There it is. Hermit. Page 48. All right. So let's read into this. And the cool part is you can just take this and be curious and open and see what shows up for you specifically with your life. Okay, so the Hermit. Self-reflection, introspection, contemplation, withdrawal, solitude, search for self. The Hermit is a seeker for the knowledge that comes from within, a lonely wanderer in the path of the night. He or she searches for that which can only be gained with long periods of solitude, the inner voice. Pause in love life to introspect, self-understanding, and love. In your career, contemplating next steps in career, searching for purpose in career. In your finances, contemplating role of the finances in happiness, less focus on material things. You are currently contemplating that you need to be alone. Never be afraid to take this chance to reflect, as it could help you clear your mind of all the clutter that comes with everyday life. Ooh, I love that. So maybe for you, you've just been like caught up in the hustle and bustle and you haven't had a moment to yourself, and like you could really, really benefit from that. I have honestly been craving like time, like deeper time with my finances, like planning things out. I've been really good about doing Wealthy Wednesdays, but life has gotten crazy. And so it's been like quick Wealthy Wednesdays. And I've been craving like deep dives into my finances, just to see like where I'm at, where we're going, all those things. And that takes time. Like, it's not just like a quick, like, okay, how's it going? Like, what are we spending where? And doing like quick check-ins. I can do that pretty quick, but like to do a deep dive, I need more time. So I've been craving that myself. And equally, I know that this month is going to be crazy. So I'm equally excited about this weekend. We have no plans. And we can just be like bums and rest and relax. And I'm like looking forward to that. So, see what shows up for you with the Hermit card. And then today I really want to talk about like how to prepare effectively for a big launch. So every business launches, whether you call it launching or not, because launching means actively selling. Launching to me equally also means like you've got one big goal. There's a period of time, right? And you have strategy in place, you have team in place, you have very big components for a period of time to make sure that you can be successful. And then after the end of that launch, you'll regroup, you'll see where you're at, and you could still be selling after that, but you're not as focused on it, if that makes sense. So for us, we have been preparing for a big launch and selling other things, but like really putting a lot of time and energy into these next 3 months. So March, April, and May, we're going for a very, very big launch. There's lots of strategy in place. There's lots of team in place. There's investments that I've made strategically for the next 3 months, and all of those things to set us up for success. At the end of the 3 months, strategically is summer. My goal for summer is just to like onboard everyone, enjoy, work on our back end. We'll probably still sell, right? And do things, but it won't be like this super high energized vibe. It'll be a little bit more like low key, because summer also, like for our people, we just statistically we've found is not a big season where people are like really like wanting to go all in with their business. So like already having people locked in before that is powerful for both them and us. Because then we can just like start to coast and enjoy the summer and then pick back up and prepare for a big fall launch. So we'll do a fall launch before the holidays and then take the holidays off and then regroup and then rinse and repeat. So it's almost like a 2 big launch strategy for my business model, and then like mini launches throughout there, but very focused on 2 very big launches. And that just works really well with the season of life that I'm in. Summer, I only get so many summers with my kids. Also, childcare looks very different in the summer, not only for me, but obviously a lot of people that I work with. So it aligns on so many layers, and I've just decided once Thanksgiving hits this coming year, I'm just going to like coast. I'm not going to stress about a Black Friday deal. I'm not going to stress about doing things in December besides like obviously like our regular scheduled programming. So the more prepared you can be and plan ahead, the better. If you're constantly flying by the seat of your pants and you have no plan in place, but yet you have these big financial goals, you're already out of alignment, because big money goals like they crave strategy, they crave structure, they crave all of these things to be successful. The universe isn't going to hand you something that it doesn't think that you can handle. So if you're constantly flying by the seat of your pants, it's not going to give you, let's say, 100 people or 500 people or 1,000 people, because it doesn't feel like you're ready for that. Does that make sense? Does that land with you? So the more you can be prepared for it, the better. So like, we're going into a launch for 100 enrollments into our big program. I said to the team yesterday, what is our onboarding plan for these 100 people? So that way the universe knows, like, hey, we're serious about this. We are ready to go. Here's exactly how we're going to set people up for success. If we need to hire extra help, we're going to do it, and we're ready for it before we even hit that number. That's how we get to show up, as if it's already done, as if it's already happening. It is so freaking important. So when it comes to a big launch, what makes it successful is all the planning and prepping. So although it may look like on Thursday, like, bam, like they're coming out of the waters and they're like on fire, there's been literally, I kid you not, 2 whole months of planning and prepping. 2 whole months. And it's not everything that you think. It is a lot of getting in the right mindset. It is getting onboarded with my new coach and like working through some past challenges that like were still there, like cleaning up the energy. I've been literally decluttering my whole home for 2 whole months, getting everything in its place. And like, although there's still some to do, it's like a whole different home, right? Which also then helps center me. Also like hiring more support where there has been some gaps, restructuring the team that I currently have to make sure everyone has the tasks that they need, that they like feel successful in that role, right? We also have been doing a lot of lead generation over the last 2 months, right? So all of these things are so critical. So that way, like the day that you launch is actually not the day that you open your doors, if that makes sense. So like, if you think about it, like from a brick and mortar standpoint, when you can see that brick and mortar being built, right? Like we just got a Starbucks literally right outside my neighborhood, which is so dangerous. But the day that they like started putting the building up and then they put the sign like Starbucks is coming, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like I can't wait. And then I saw like the building getting closer and closer being completed. And then the doors were open and there was this flood of cars to buy coffee, right? But they could visually see it happening. So from an online standpoint, this is so important that you're visually showing people, oh my gosh, there's something big coming. You're teasing it, right? You're showing up visibly and giving value to people. So that way, when you do open your doors, there is a flood of cars, right? And it's not just like, surprise, I've been missing for, 2 whole months. Like if I hadn't showed up on social media these past 2 months, and then I just like come out of like the woodworks and like, hey, we have this big launch, like sign up and join. I can't be disappointed that if that launch didn't go well because I didn't do the prep work. So I always say the pre-launch is just as important as the actual launch because it sets you up for success. I personally love a longer launch. Statistically, like the online space, you typically do like a cart open for like 2-3 weeks. That does not work with my life. It does not work with my personality. I like a longer launch because it gives me time to work the strategies. It gives me time to talk to people. It gives my audience time to like decide, is this for them? Is this not for them? And we're not like, I don't like the rushing feeling. I grew up constantly feeling rushed. And so I love just like a little bit more of a chill timeline. So I have time. And then that also sets me up for success because then, like, for example, with this launch, the first 30 days is a early bird price. Then it goes up. So then from there, we still have 60 days of like, okay, this many people signed up at the early bird price. This is how many people we have left. And so therefore that will dictate the rest of our strategy. If we have only 5 enrollments left versus like, let's say 25 enrollments, that looks very, very different. If it's 5, we may just have to do some follow-ups and then we're good to go. If it's 25, there's probably still some retargeting ads, some email campaigns, some social media posts, etc., to be able to hit that benchmark, right? So all this to say is like plan to win. And how we plan to win is truly looking at, okay, what is everything we need to do before we actually launch? And then what are the key strategies and the key KPIs, the key, that I said key twice because KPIs is key performance indicators. But besides the point, what are those key metrics during your launch, right, to make sure that you hit your number? So, for example, if you know you do really well on sales calls, then if we have 25 enrollments, the average close rate on sales calls is typically 50%. Sometimes it's higher. I have somebody talking to me over here. But if it's 50%, which is on average, and you have 25 enrollments, then you're going to need to take 50 sales calls, right? And so that is a key metric of like, okay, are we taking 5 a week over the course of 12 weeks, right? Is that doable? Can we handle that? Where are we going to find those people, right? Qualify them, all of those things. And then you could track that over the period of your launch to make sure it feels predictable. This is not like, we don't just do like throwing spaghetti on the wall here. We do strategy. Now, with every strategy, we've got to test it, right? Even if it's worked before, it may be different now for so many different reasons. But like 9 times out of 10, I know video is what really gets everything going in the right direction. So the more that I show up on video and provide value is a huge way that we can make sure that our launch is successful. So like in past launches, I've always looked at video as like, okay, if I can activate one person during this video, then that's one person closer to our goal, right? So for example, if I have 100 goal enrollment, an 100 enrollment goal, then I get to do at least 100 videos over the next 12 weeks. I can then start to schedule those out, meaning like when do I do them? What am I talking about? What's my call to action? Can we put ad money behind those? And then our secondary metric is sales calls. So then I could invite people from video to a sales call to answer all of their questions about the program, right? So those are 2 huge key metrics that we can track over the 12 weeks and really see, okay, are we hitting our numbers in order to hit our overall goal? So it's super strategic from the sense of like, what are we actually tracking and why? And like, it blows my mind when people are like, I suck. I am quitting my business. I posted twice about my offer and it didn't sell. That's not enough. Like, it is not a market thing. It is a you thing, which is why mindset is so freaking important, because you will see me talk about this offer a ridiculous amount of times over the next 12 weeks, to the point where it'll probably like, I will probably get sick of it, but then that's when I know that it, like, we're on track and it's working. Because even when I talk about it a ridiculous amount of times, my people are only seeing it a fraction of the time, and people need to see and hear something over and over and over again just to even be interested in it, right? And so this is the name of the game, especially in the online space. There is so much noise. There is so many people going in all different directions. And so not everyone is going to see your content. And so we've got to make sure that we're talking about it in tons of different ways to get people excited and move forward, right? I've also invested in energy healing over these next 90 days of just a space of like, I know I'm going to be putting out a lot of energy. So I've got a coach, an additional coach to help me with that. I've invested in my health and fitness over these next 90 days because I want to be like super healthy and taking care of myself. So I have more energy, which is really, really important to me. And so many other things. So like, I am really taking this seriously because a lot like an athlete that wants to go to the Super Bowl, like I'm going to do everything in my power to get us to the Super Bowl, to set us up for success. Can I guarantee that we will get to the Super Bowl? No, no one can. But I can show up as if it's already going to happen, as if I'm doing everything possible to make it happen. And guess what? Even like, I love the saying, shoot for the moon and you may even land with the stars. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, let's say, we get 75 amazing humans in this program. That is amazing. We've never had 75 in this program. That would be like, I can only imagine the energy that will happen, right? Let's take 50 people. So like 50% to my goal. Still fucking awesome. So like there is no losing. We already have 20 people already enrolled. So we're like literally almost 25% to our goal and we haven't even launched yet just because we're doing like renewals and follow-ups with people behind the scenes. Again, another strategy before we launch. So strategy is like my favoriteest thing ever, along with mindset and so many other things. But strategy is so important because it makes things predictable. I love predictability. I love, like, I'm a planner, right? So although, like, even as a planner, meaning like I plan out my whole week, right? My week may not go exactly how I planned it. It never will, right? Especially with 2 young kids. But it sets me up for success that it's easier to adjust and move things rather than constantly flying by the seat of my pants. The same is true with a launch. I have a plan in place, right? There will absolutely be breakdowns. That it's just going to happen. There's going to be breakdowns. I'm going to plan for it so it doesn't shock me of like, oh my gosh, tech isn't working or I'm having a bad day or, this, that, the other. I'm just going to plan for it so it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't take me like completely off track. And then we get back and we refocus. I'm planning for, self-care days, right? I'm planning for all of these things. So they're just all built into the plan. And that way I can also add some spontaneous ideas because those will also happen. I will get these off the wall ideas during a launch. I always do. And guess what? Those are the ones that honestly, like if I'm being real with you, those are the ones that like completely blow it out of the water, which is so cute because it's like, oh my gosh, planning side of Nellie had this juicy plan in place and yes, it was awesome and yes, it worked, but like fly by the seat of your pants spontaneous Nellie came in at certain points and like completely showed us up type of thing. And so I like to blend the two together because I want you to feel creative. I want you to feel spontaneous. I want you to feel all of those things where you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go live. I'm really passionate about this. And you talk about it and let's say you get 5 enrollments, right? That can happen. It totally has happened several times to me. But if that's our only strategy, it puts a lot of stress on the nervous system, that, it's just too easy for it to feel icky and stressful. And this launch specifically is all about ease, flow, fun, my theme for 2023. And I want to showcase to other people, especially because this is what the offer is all about, of like, you can have so much freaking fun and make really good money and change a lot of lives. And I'm going to show you exactly how, because I embody it. I model it. I'm living it every single day. So truly, like, me launching in this way is critical because it's actually like what we're selling. So no pressure, but also it's just how I roll anyway. So I'm not worried about it, but I just wanted to chat with you about like being super honest with yourself of like, are your actions in alignment with your goals? Like your big, big goals. If you keep talking about $1 million business, are we actively building $1 million business? Are we actively making million-dollar business decisions, right? Step by step by step. Are we working on our mindset, right? All of these things. So we want to make sure that our actions are hugely in alignment with what our dreams are, so that eventually the dreams become a reality. If they are not, then it's going to be really difficult for those dreams to become a reality. And then that's when we get really frustrated with ourselves and beat ourselves up thinking that it's, all of these different variables, but really, like, that's why I always say you are the strategy. The more you focus on you, right, and growing you and working on you, this all becomes actually quite, I don't want to say easy, because that can be taken as like, oh, well, I just show up a couple times and then I make money. But like, truly, it can start off that way. And then we keep building and building and building and building. Okay. So I'm super excited for you. It is almost March. Finish this month strong with anything that you need to do just to clear the way, set the intentions. I love moving furniture around. Every time I move furniture around, I make money. But the best thing that you can do is plan for the month ahead. What are those big goals? What are the actions that you get to take to align to those big goals? Get support and take care of you and have so much freaking fun that people cannot stand it. So, stay tuned. Thursday is the big day. We have a free training, on hitting the sales gold mine in your business. So I would love for you to attend that free training. And that way you can not only get some, free support, but then you can hear about, this big kept secret of what we're doing, why we're doing it, what's happening, all of the things. So that is on Thursday. So just a couple days away. There will be a replay for that training, just in case you can't join live. We never assume that, people can join live because everyone's busy. So, but I will be going live 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday in regards to hitting the sales gold mine in your business. So super excited for you. It's going to be a wild ride. I can't wait for you to be on the ride with me. We're actually going to do a behind the scenes launch group. If you just want to hear more of like what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it. I'm super excited to share that information, and just take you kind of behind the scenes, behind the curtain, and many more surprises. So I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Woo! Is your head spinning? I hope you took so many notes and you feel so inspired. Time truly flies when you're learning about becoming wealthy AF. I hope you loved today's episode. That does it for us on the show. Don't forget, every weekday we unlock another juicy money-making episode. So be sure to subscribe or follow where you're listening to this. And also, don't forget, if you haven't already, to leave us a 5-star review on your podcast platform so we can take over the world together. And share a takeaway on social media and tag me at The Wealthy Mama. We love doing spontaneous prize giveaways. So don't forget to tag us with a takeaway so we can reward you as being one of our biggest fans and listeners. Until next time, don't forget, you are worthy of being wealthy. And from everyone at the Wealthy Mama movement, we love you. Make it a great day.